that CBSE in our country realized dyslexia exists after Bollywood told us. Currently in the country, we do not recognize ADHD as an independent disability. अब मेरे को हिलना है और मेरा बॉडी रुक नहीं पा रहा है. मैं ऐसे I want to do this. Sit properly. And if you're a girl, sit straight. There's more tolerance to लड़के इधर उधर भाग रहे हैं, but लड़कियां no. So many people with ADHD are their creative brains. ठक their thoughts connect at multiple. इतने सारे thoughts कहाँ से they are extremely creative. For ADHD, the medications are largely stimulant medications. Stimulant क्या होता है? चाय, कॉफी.
ADHD अभी सुनने में आया है last few years. So exactly what is ADHD?
ADHD is a different kind of a brain wiring. I don't see it as a disorder or as a pathology. It has always existed. Right? It has always existed. पर हम जब ADHD सोचते हैं तो हमें लगता है एक बच्चा शैतानी कर रहा है इधर उधर.
Pay attention नहीं कर रहा है क्लास में, can't focus.
Correct. So उसकी जो terminology है inattention, hyperactivity and impulsivity. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. लेकिन attention deficit नहीं होती है, attention dysregulated होती है, which basically means अगर टीचर बोरिंग है मैं नहीं सुन सकती, मेरा ब्रेन ही नहीं सुनेगा. चिड़िया इंटरेस्टिंग लग रही है पेड़ पे बैठी हुई, तो टीचर को अपना अप करना पड़ेगा ना कि बी मोर इंटरेस्टिंग देन. करेक्ट. So you'll find, for example, तारे ज़मीन पर opening scene अगर आपने देखा,
exactly visualize that scene.
आप तारे ज़मीन पर कब opening scene बच्चे को देखो, वो tadpoles में इतना hyper focused है. Their focus is very different. Their focus is at very depths. Rather than हम लोगों का focus क्या होता है, multiple चीज़ों पे थोड़ा shallow focus कर पाते हैं. ये some kind of brains are wired in a way where they can hyper focus. वो उसको सुनाई नहीं दे रहा, पीछे बस वाला बोल रहा है ईशान, वो लगा पड़ा है उसमें, to the extent that he's lost to the outside world. So that does not mean that attention is deficit. Right? वो अलग बात है, उसमें dyslexia दिखाया था, but you'll find these kind of things, neurodivergent brains. And very interesting part is that CBSE in our country realized dyslexia exists after Bollywood told them, hey, you know Tare Zameen Par.
Really?
Yeah. It was after 2009, the release of the movie that I'm exaggerating rhetorically, but it was after the movie that the benefits for kids with disabilities in the schools came up. In fact, currently in the country, we do not recognize ADHD as an independent disability. Autism exists, dyslexia exists, but not. ये तो उसके बाद कि अच्छा extra time दे दो, writer दे दो. लेकिन ADHD person को extra time चाहिए नहीं. One of my friends with ADHD who's my age right now, he said कि मैं आधे घंटे में पेपर खत्म करके I wanted to leave. I was bored.
Now that you brought it up, because it's becoming such a big issue in school.
Yeah.
You know, so many kids are being diagnosed and people don't know what to do. Is it normal? Is it not normal? Or we just are becoming accustomed to this now?
There's a lot of awareness now of the issues that always existed. And the issue exists, आप जैसे हो और classroom, traditional classroom में ये बच्चे thrive नहीं कर पाएंगे. अब मेरे को हिलना है और मेरा body रुक नहीं पा रहा है. मैं ऐसे I want to do this. Sit properly. And if you're a girl, sit straight. There's more tolerance to लड़के इधर उधर भाग रहे हैं, but लड़कियां no. Sit properly. ऐसे क्यों पैर फैला, ऐसे क्यों बैठी हुई हो. So if you take them to a, let's say, गुरु शिष्य, जैसे गुरु बैठा हुआ है और आप बाहर, you know, in nature आप पढ़ाई करो, जमीन पे बैठे हो, भाग रहे हो, बर्तन भी धो रहे हो साथ में, that kind of education, they'll benefit from that. So these kids are there is of course awareness increasing, but they're also like those very straight jacketing traditions. If we look at creativity, how much creativity is encouraged in our school system? वो सिर्फ बदतमीजी बोला जाता है. अगर आप ऐसे कैसे पूछ लिया आपने, जो बोला है वो करो. Right? So schools are coming up in urban setup, especially जहाँ पे critical thinking, curiosity and creativity encourage की जाती है. But at the end of the day, the world wants you to भेड़ चाल में चल. Conform, correct. And neurodivergent kids don't conform. Neurodivergent adults don't conform. That's why they are change makers. They're rebellious people. They're entrepreneurs. So many people with ADHD they're creative brains. Their thoughts connect at multiple इतने सारे थॉट्स कहाँ से they are extremely creative folks.
So ADHD in women and ADHD in men will be more or less similar, or
No. You will not find ADHD क्योंकि if I am hyper as a man, I recently did a research that got published on Indian women with ADHD. एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट बोला एक ADHD लड़की ने, क्योंकि हाइपर एक्टिव है तो कहीं निकालनी है, इम्पल्सिविटी, भागना है, दौड़ना है, खेलना है, स्पोर्ट्स है, आप ऐसे बच्चे को भगा सकते हो और वो फिर भी नहीं थकेगा, राइट? सो बट विद गर्ल्स विद ADHD शी इज लाइक कि मैं रात को, मेरे को 10 बजे आए, मेरे को चुल मच रही है कि मुझे कुछ करना है, आई कांट गो आउट, माई सेफ्टी इज एट स्टेक, माई फ्रेंड हु इज मैन विद ADHD वो घूम फिर के अपना आ सकता है वापस. सो बट द प्रेजेंटेशन पार्ट ऑफ इट, यू विल फाइंड more hyperactivity there in boys and more inattention-sive. Those lost kids, अपनी दुनिया में zoned out हैं, कुछ बाहर देख रहे हैं, daydreamers. So you'll find more of that kind of presentation in girls versus boys, but that is also very gendered. We really do not know कि ज़्यादा hyperactive ये है या कम है, वैसा कुछ नहीं है. ये gendered है.
External stimulated, external control. That's why the symptoms
लड़कियां बातें ज्यादा करेंगी. So you'll find hyperactivity, verbal hyperactivity. कितनी बार बोला चुप बैठो, लड़के भाग तोड़ ज्यादा करेंगे, चीजें तोड़ेंगे ज्यादा.
What having these conversation makes us so be there with lot of sensitivity, which we do not know. So not knowing a subject, we don't know. We just know that okay, somebody has, and how that person would be dealing with this, which is
Yes.
because they are just different from everybody around them.
Absolutely.
Of no fault of
Absolutely. इसे हम invisible disabilities बोलते हैं. चाहे वो ऑटिज्म हो, चाहे वो ADHD हो, चाहे कोई भी मेंटल इलनेस हो, इसे इनविजिबल डिसेबिलिटी, क्योंकि कोई देख के नहीं बता सकता है कि आप इस डिफरेंस से आपको ऐसे आपका ब्रेन ऐसे इफेक्ट हो रहा है, ऐसे फंक्शन करता है. So, and it is very difficult.
In the earlier times, so it's like people would say, like put names to these symptoms.
Correct. It is because I work a lot with neurodivergent adults, neurodivergent women. The trauma of it all.
So
you have to put.
I was going to say, explain that. Neurodivergent and ADHD is the same, or ADHD is the part of the bucket.
Got it. So, neurotypical is how the average brain is expected to function.
Or what we say normal.
Normal, exactly. What we say as the normal. So, शायद growing up for me, the neurotypical brain would be फटाफट गणित जो करता है वो स्मार्ट बच्चा है, मैथ्स क्विकली जो कर पा रहा है वो स्मार्ट बच्चा है, राइट? एनीवन नॉट एबल टू डू दैट इज स्टूपिड और स्लो और व्हाटएवर, राइट? divergence means different and neuro means brain. A different way of processing, experiencing, sensory wise, intellectually, emotionally experiencing the world. And for instance, I don't consider myself entirely very neurotypical, but मेरे thoughts I make for an excellent teacher because मेरे thoughts ठक ठक इधर जाके सारा एक साथ connect कर जाते हैं, right? So neurodivergence or ADHD is a form of neurodivergence. Just imagine it to be like a Mac or a Microsoft Windows. तो अगर Microsoft Windows को normal बोला जाता है तो Mac तो it's not a disorder.
It's a different OS. That's
correct. It's a different OS.
But aajkal, one of the big things is if they diagnose you, they start putting you on medicine. So because they want you to conform. What about that?
So for ADHD, the medications are largely stimulant medications. The understanding is that ADHD brain is understimulated.
But ये तो overstimulated नहीं हो रहा है.
वो hyperactivities to compensate for the lack of stimulation the brain is experiencing.
अच्छा.
That's the basic understanding. तो उसको stimulant दिया जाता है. Stimulant क्या होता है? चाय, coffee, आपका. So a stimulant medication is actually something that can help them focus.
Yes.
Now psychiatric medications are not like your Dolo. सबको एक जैसा वैसे ही इफेक्ट किया जाता है. Of course, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I have a basic, being in the field, I have a little bit of knowledge of that. तो ये जरूर बात है कि सबको एक जैसे तरीके से इफेक्ट नहीं करेगा, but today's day and age we have much better medications with lesser side effects and they can be very helpful. So it's a bit of a balance between we can't be over medicating and like सब लोग ही एक ज़ोलॉफ्ट लेके बैठे हुए हैं, एंड येट एट द सेम टाइम अगर किसी को जेन्युइनली फोकस करने में, देयर आर सम पीपल विद ADHD जिनको लगता है जिनकी वॉइसेस क्वाइटन डाउन इन देयर ब्रेन, जिनको लगता है अरे ऐसे भी दिमाग होता है, कितने शांत भी हो जाते हैं थॉट्स. सो यूर लाइक कि हाँ ऐसा हो सकता है. सो फॉर देम इट इज एग्जैक्टली लाइक वेयरिंग स्पेक्टिकल्स. तो आप नहीं, आप स्पेक्टिकल्स लगा के क्यों देख रहे हो, आप ऐसी कोशिश करो, नहीं देखना पड़ेगा आपको. सो आई थिंक वी नीड टू हैव अ critical and yet an open mind towards medication, even kids for that matter, because this is not giving antidepressant to it. This is giving stimulant to
Back
the
to
brain
balance.
to help them calm down enough to listen to you.
Thank you,
Thank
Tisha,
you.
and lot of thought to take home.
Likewise.